Some people beg for mercy when death knocks on their door. Others, they stare death in the eyes and basically say, "Not today, buddy." Today we're diving into the insane, almost unbelievable stories of samurai who faced death without surrender. Men who, instead of running, turned their final moments into something so epic that centuries later, we're still talking about them. So sharpen your katana, sit tight, because these are the samurai who made death itself look like an amateur. Japan, early 1600s. The Tokugawa clan is steamrolling across the country, crushing rivals one by one. And right in the middle of that political meat grinder stands Sanada Yukimura, also called the Crimson Demon of War. Why the nickname? Simple. He had this habit of dressing in bright red armor so the enemy could always spot him. Subtle? Not at all. But effective? Absolutely. Fast forward to 1615, the siege of Osaka. The Tokugawa army rolls up with over 150,000 men. Yukimura, he has maybe 60,000, and half of them aren't even real samurai, just farmers with attitude. Odds? Trash. Morale? Surprisingly sky high. When the fighting starts, Yukimura doesn't play defense. Nope. He charges right into Tokugawa's lines and cutting through them like butter. Legend says even Tokugawa Ieyasu himself, the shogun, nearly panicked watching Yukimura's troops tearing apart his carefully built army. Imagine being the most powerful man in Japan and whispering to yourself, "Wait, are we losing?" But here's where it turns tragic. After hours of fighting, Yukimura is exhausted, his men scattered, his armor cracked. He stumbles to the side of the battlefield, bleeding out. A Tokugawa soldier approaches, and instead of begging for life, Yukimura simply says, "I am tired. Let me rest here. Do me a favor and end it already." The soldier obliges. Yukimura dies sitting calmly under a tree, as if he just decided it was nap time. And here's the kicker. Tokugawa Ieyasu, the guy who technically won, admitted later that day that Yukimura was the true hero of the battle. Sometimes you lose the war, but still steal the spotlight. Now let's jump 2 centuries forward to the late 1800s. Japan is modernizing fast. Western guns, Western clothes, even Western haircuts. And the samurai class becoming obsolete. Most accept it. Most, but not Saigo Takamori. If Yukimura was the Crimson Demon, Saigo was the boss of bosses. Charismatic, respected, and absolutely allergic to giving up. When the Meiji government started sidelining samurai, Saigo basically went, "Over my dead body." In 1877, he leads the Satsuma Rebellion, the last stand of the samurai. Imagine thousands of warriors with swords charging against modern rifles and cannons. The math didn't work, but Saigo didn't care. After months of brutal fighting, Saigo and his remaining men are cornered at Shiroyama. Government troops outnumber them 20 to 1. Bullets are flying, explosions everywhere. But instead of surrendering, Saigo pulls a classic samurai move. He dresses in full armor, grabs his katana, and charges straight into gunfire. He's hit, badly wounded. His men try to carry him off the battlefield. Saigo refuses. Instead, he kneels, pulls himself together, and performs seppuku, ritual suicide, before the enemy can finish him. His followers then charge forward in one last suicidal rush, inspired by his example. The rebellion collapses, but the legend of Saigo Takamori, untouchable. Saigo's death wasn't just an ending, it was a curtain call, the final act of the samurai era. Now let's go way back again, to the 14th century. Meet Kusunoki Masashige, a samurai strategist so brilliant that even his enemies respected him. This guy didn't just fight battles, he played chess with people's lives and usually won. He was loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo during the wars against the Ashikaga shogunate, and his trademark? Fighting smarter, not harder. Ambushes, surprise attacks, fortresses that seemed impossible to capture. Masashige turned war into a board game. But in 1336, the emperor made a horrible decision. He ordered Masashige to face the Ashikaga forces head-on in open battle. Masashige knew it was suicide. He literally begged the emperor, "Please don't do this, it's a trap." The emperor ignored him. So what does Masashige do? Does he desert? Betray? Nope, he obeys. He marches with 700 men to face 30,000. Yes, you heard that right. 30. The Battle of Minatagawa is pure carnage. Masashige fights ferociously, but is inevitably overwhelmed. Bleeding, surrounded with no escape, he turns to his brother and says, "Would it not be better to die in honor than live in shame?" Together they perform seppuku on the battlefield. His army is wiped out, but his loyalty becomes legendary. To this day, Kusunoki Masashige is celebrated as the symbol of ultimate loyalty in Japan. The guy lost horribly, but scored the greatest Employee of the Year award in history. So what do these stories tell us? Sonata Yukimura, Saigo Takamori, Kusunoki Masashige, different centuries, different enemies, but the same mentality. Death before surrender. They knew they couldn't win, but winning wasn't the point. It was about showing the world, and maybe the gods, that some spirits can't be broken. It's easy to say now, sitting on our couches with Netflix and Wi-Fi, that, yeah, I'd never surrender either. But imagine standing on a battlefield, bleeding out, facing impossible odds, and still refusing to bow. That's why these samurai became legends, not because they lived forever, but because when death came knocking, they slammed the door in its face.